You might know her as a fierce freedom fighter who made her name with the Pan-Africanist Congress. She then founded and led the Independent Democrats until the party merged with the Democratic Alliance in 2010. Fast forward to today, to 2018, and Patricia de Lille is on the verge of forming another new political party called For Good. She's here with me to get you to understand why. Very warm welcome. You are the party girl. This is your fourth reincarnation. Why?
You know what, I mean, I've got a history of fighting against apartheid all my life. And most people conveniently forget that we are only 23 years in a democracy, that political parties were banned before that. And what you see is our Constitution makes provision for a multi-party democracy. And God forbid, if people are going to begin to lose confidence in that democracy. But the good thing is that it is the voters that will decide. Democracy is but contestation of an idea. I've got an idea. And doesn't matter whether I have been in the PAC, I was part of the liberation movement. When I started the Independent Democrats, I wanted to become the first woman in our new democracy, under our new constitution, to start and lead a political party and contest election at all three spheres of government and win seats. I've achieved that. In 2010, Helen Zille and myself came together and we said there are red lights flickering, that the ANC is abusing our constitution. Let's get together and build an alternative. And so that's why I went with Helen Zille at the time to build this alternative. Of course, what has happened now, it's history. And I still feel that I will never be able to retire, Jane, until I know that more people...
Many more parties to start up.
Yes, no. You will be surprised, but this is different. I am leaving politics for good in 5 years' time. I want to create an opportunity for young people to come in and be part of building a good South Africa.
Hurrah, you hear people.
There are
and how are you going to do that?
Of young people.
Because
lots of good people in our country.
You speak to a lot of young people, and they're really frustrated that older politicians just don't go away. And I know when, you know...
I will not be recycled. I promise them.
5 years.
I'm here in Johannesburg. I've met with many of them in Cape Town, all over the country. I'm creating my profile as an opportunity for them to come in, together with a few experienced politicians. Because what's happening in other political parties, they recycle the same old politicians sitting in parliament for 15 years just to build up a pension. And there's no opportunity for young people. And
okay, so let me jump in here. Build up a pension, and what we've seen is old politicians...
I've built up my pension. Yeah. I'm investing my own pension money to fund this.
Okay, so, I mean, why do people start parties at the end of the day? I mean, we've seen just so much corruption recently.
Yeah.
I mean, what drives somebody to start up a party? What sort of difference do they think they're going to make?
I can only
Or is it just to...
No, I can only speak for myself. What drives me is my deep, passionate love for my country. I want to see my country succeed. I know there are many good people out there who want to see our country succeed. Because if good people do nothing, that's when evil is prospering in our country as it is now. And this movement for good is there to mobilize the good people. Because if the good people are not going to stand up in this country, we're in for a high jump. So it's my idea. I'm now testing it with young people. They're very enthusiastic. We need to change the template of politics, Jane. It is so stale. It is the same people all over again.
Is that why you didn't team up with the EFF? There was a lot of speculation that possibly you might go there because of the shared political ideologies. Have those times changed, or do you think it's just not a winning...
Well, there are lots of speculations, and people are entitled to speculate.
No, but why not?
People are entitled to their... No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that, you know, sometimes also even the EFF is misunderstood. You know, people are not always allowing the young people in the EFF to say this is what we think should happen. That people are very judgmental in our country. But fortunately, the end of the day is the voters that decided. So in the last election, voters decided we want something like the EFF, and they voted for the EFF. And that is the choice that we must give to South Africans. And my choice that I'm putting before South Africans now, together with young people, is to say, let us bring the good people together. Jane, since I made the announcement on Sunday last week to call on good people to do something good for our country, we had 32.1 million responses on Twitter and tweets and retweets just alone. And then we also have got a Facebook, and as I speak to you, over 50,000 people have already signed up. So I'm happy it's an idea that needs to be tested at the polls in 2019.
I know, because, I mean, you're setting up, there's very little time actually for you,
yes.
But I guess you're an experienced politician. Tell me about the challenges of setting up a party, what it is that you need to achieve. Obviously, you've got to set out your policy.
Yeah.
You've got to be clear about that.
Yes.
Where do you get the funding from? What's the next step for a party?
Well, look, I made the investment because I believe in this idea. And you know what? When you retire one day, you sit with all of that pension money. What are you going to do with it? I mean, you're not going to buy another car every day or another house every day. And this is my investment that I've made. So I've put in the seed money to begin with, to test this idea of bringing together good people in South Africa. Once that is done, we are now announcing the name next week. And together with the name, we will be announcing policy positions. As we speak now, young people from all over the country and experienced politicians are making input in there. We're not going to sit and write long policy documents that nobody is reading. Then we're going to come to Johannesburg.
Stand up for hours and
in January, we're going to come to Johannesburg. We're going to launch the movement for good people. I'm going to display to South Africa the young leaders and the experienced ones that reflect the demography of our country.
Let me
because
ask you
one thing that I want to fight, Jane, is racism.
Yes, very good.
Good people are not racist.
Yeah.
And I believe that even our young people must build this country where we must send out a strong message to all the racists in our country.
And all the
we will not allow for them to speak
That's
for
very
us.
good, and I think you'll get a lot of support for that, certainly. And obviously, to clear up what we've been seeing in the parties, obviously your fights with the DA,
Yeah.
I mean, how do you put that behind you? I know that you've still got a legal battle pending with them.
Yes.
How do you move on from that? How do you clear your name? How do you start afresh in that area?
Jane, I mean, I've had a worse experience in my whole political career of almost 50 years for the past 2 years.
Has it damaged you, do you think?
Absolutely hatred, dehumanizing, how people were so hell-bent on, to damage your reputation. But I came out of there and I said, you know what? God forgive the fools because they don't know what they're doing. It's a chapter that I'm closing and moving on.
And
because my country is more important than the Democratic Alliance.
Well, you certainly are a fighter, Patricia de Lille. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. The former Cape Town mayor and DA member who'll soon be a leader of For Good political party. Still ahead, South Africa's awash with political parties. Get to the bottom of what makes them work and if we really need so many.